So if you don't know the girl that well, like, do you still go fuck her, or do you just like not do oral if she smells?
I think it depends on who it is. If I'm in a relationship.
No, I'm saying if you don't know the girl, like if it's if it's casual.
I've definitely been like, I gotta go.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess
not every time, but I've definitely. It really depends on degree of smell.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like if it's like a little bit, just a little funk, and you're just like, maybe I don't want to put my face down there.
Yeah,
but this is a whole other separate part of my body.
Like it's the difference between. Right. It's the difference between.
This body part does not have a nose.
Your breath smells fine. I can deal with your breath, but down there, I don't know about that.
It's the difference between little Johnny running a 50-yard dash and LeBron James playing 4 quarters of basketball. I think there's 2 different smells there. So, you know what? There's a threshold, I believe.
That's true.
But definitely having
So you don't want LeBron.
I don't think I would want LeBron to begin with, but...
Okay, so let's move on to... I have found that, and this is also like the use of cock rings too. The reason why there are cock rings that are just around the cock, and then there's ones that also go around the balls because it like helps tug or pull on the balls, and it helps to maintain a man's orgasm longer. So like
orgasm or erection?
Orgasm.
Okay.
So like when like you can be given head, or if like a guy like is you think he's gonna come soon, pulling on the balls, from my experience and from what I have read maybe in Cosmo, I don't know, we're not gonna go real facts here, but like just from personal experience, like tugging on the balls helps to prolong ejaculation. Plus like cock rings, I know, but definitely by personal experience, especially the ones that go around the balls, definitely create like a less sensitivity, and it makes a guy last longer. Because if I know I'm about to have some like hot sex, or I know I'm about to have anal, like me and my ex, we would 100% put that cock ring on, and like because we knew like hot sex was coming, so like we put it on so he'd last longer. But do guys like when you pull them? Like, is that a true statement for you guys? Like if a girl like kind of tugs on the balls while like she's giving head, does it like kind of keep
tugs on the balls?
Just like kind of like like lightly like squeezes and pulls down?
I'm pretty good with any kind of playing with the balls, but a certain amount of pressure.
Well, not yanking them off, but
like
for hey,
just like the skull fucking. I'm sure that there are men that fucking want their fucking balls yanked.
I've actually had a friend that like loved his balls like stepped on by high heels.
No, I'm good on that.
Yeah,
I think
but he loved it, like because
he
didn't have much feeling in his balls, and like
I bet
after that.
I know, but he was like really fucking into it. But side boob, can you look and see if like tugging on the balls like helps the sensitivity and like a man's ejaculation prolong? On that.
Well, while she's doing that, I will say, yeah, I'm a person that I actually do like that a bit, and it can definitely prolong stuff a little bit, just that little wince of pain to go, oh no, I'm not quite there yet,
So is it painful? Is that, or is it just like a?
It can be if it's where you're like actually grabbing the balls themselves. Yes, if you're just like grabbing like the ball sack, no, not really. That's just kind of like a, hey. What's up?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like like you grab the sack and just kind of like massage and like just slightly tug down just a bit, like you like not like in a painful way. I hope not, because nobody's ever told me it's painful. But anyways.
Well, I mean, it can be if someone's getting carried away.
That's true.
'Cause that's happening
where there's
too.
like milk in an udder.
Side note: we have an audience back there.
Oh, drink
for sure. Oh. For our new guest, Woody, you can slightly see some stairs, and every time a cat goes up or down...
every time you see pussy, you have to drink.
I didn't see it, but I'll drink.
Well, that's for our listeners, especially in the first episode. Cheers, guys. Especially in the first episode, you see pussy a lot up and down the stairs.
Yeah, there's a lot of pussy in the first episode.
People are going to get wasted. So, okay. And you guys are guys, and y'all might not feel comfortable about expressing if you do or don't like this, but I've experienced both, and guys who are just curious as well. what are your thoughts about like the whole finger in the butthole? Because like I love, there's a comedian that made a joke and it's like, if God didn't like gays, why did he put his G-spot in his asshole? And I was like, good fucking point. Like, to all you fucking religious people, which I am religious, but I don't believe that gay people are going to hell. Anyways, but like, I think that's a perfect perspective on it. Like, why did God put the G-spot for a guy in the butthole?
I don't know if I'd necessarily enjoy it. I mean,
I was like, I have no personal experience, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Really?
I guess I'm not having sex with that fun of people. I don't know.
Well,
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's
also not. It's not something I've ever asked for either. So I mean.
Well, there's like just like guys like test the waters. Like whenever they're doing like oral, they might just like start fingering you, and then like might like put some pressure on the butthole and be like up, and I'm like.
Yeah,
give him the thumbs up. But
it seems like it goes that way for me more too. That I'm more the pressure.
No, yeah, like the
than the
I'm that way too.
receiver.
Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely more of the instigator, not the receiving person.
Yeah, but so like, do girls like ever like just like kind of put pressure there, and you're just
I've had
like,
a couple
whoa,
girls. Yeah,
you
I've
know?
had a couple girls, but usually it's in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Like you don't just start with finger in the butt.
Well, yeah, that's
you're
what I'm
like,
saying.
Hey,
Like,
you like this?
Well, yeah, like you really get into like giving good oral sex, and
Right.
then you're just like, well, let's see. Should we go further? Would we like this? Would you like this? You know, it just kind of like
Yeah, and
it's
I
a
think
very
that's, the couple girls that I would say tried it a little bit with me, I really liked. So I was like, you know what, if that's, I'm gonna let it roll.
I'm not really into it, but like some guys are, so I'm just like, I'll just test the waters to see, because some guys just fucking love it, and so I'm just like, do you like this? Because maybe I can just make you fucking come everywhere.
But I would say there's a better way to use the butthole when you're talking about oral sex. So, you know, I think the rim job.
See, and that's the thing,
is
like,
way more enjoyable than a finger being stuck in your butt.
and that's the thing, like, guys think girls love it so much, and I've had this conversation with multiple women, and to me, it does nothing for me. But for guys, because like y'all's G-spot is in your butthole, like guys go gaga.
Is that a real thing?
In my like having conversations with people, and like, and me personally, I'm just like, I don't fucking care if you lick my butthole. Like, go up, lick my fucking clit. You know, like I'm way more responsive to that than like you licking my butthole. But guys love it. Like they have no issues with it. They're just like, I mean, and it just like toe curling, love it. And they think that girls, or I've talked to multiple guys who think that girls just love it. And like, I've talked to multiple girls and they're like, no, I don't, or just, they don't hate it or anything. It just isn't really, it's not very arousing, you know? Yeah. So that's just from having conversations with people and like talking to people. I'm not saying it's everybody, but for the handful of people I've talked to about it, like women and men, like it's the complete opposite effect for the sexes. But guys love it. They absolutely, because they just talk about it all the time.
I'm not gonna say I don't like it.
That's one of those things where I have to be like really drunk and freaky sex, and you have had to just have showered. Like, if you want me to go down there and lick that hairy thing, there better not be any dingleberries, you know? Like,
I like to eat Mexican beforehand.
Or Indian food.
Oh, God. Taking it to the next level.
You know, I'm a competitor. So we went, and we've talked about the spitting and the swallowing, but have you guys ever had like a girl like put ice cubes in there, and then like ice cubes or ice water, like with the ice cube, and then go down?
In their mouth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Menthol, too.
Oh, like a mint, too. Yeah, I've done that, too. Like, or just chew gum.
Some
that's
kind
like
of
minty.
menthol.
What's that like?
Because it has a...
Like, somebody chews on like a mint or like some minty gum?
I remember exactly what it was. That it's some kind of menthol candy or something that was... And there's a...
Yeah, I was thinking Mentos.
There's a tingling sensation at first that might make you feel a little weird, but after that, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Well, and I've also done like first off, any kind of like water sex or oral or whatever, it's just like everybody's like, oh, in the water. No, water is not a lubricant.
No, it's not. It's
and then
terrible.
I've given head underwater, and it's just like it's not. There's like I don't feel much, so I know they don't feel much. I'm just like, this is.
I'm drowning and getting turned off at the same time. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
and in a hot tub.
Yeah.
Let's do it in the hot tub
rather,
where everybody else has done it, so we can make sure we get something.
Yeah. Well, like that's what I'm just like. Over the edge of the pool is hot or whatever, you know. But I'm just like, it's cool in concept, but then you do it and you're like, oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Like it's just not all it's cracked up to be, and also like beach sex. With like the sand in the butt crack and like that's not
beach sex is not the best.
No,
have a big fucking towel if you're gonna do beach sex.
Yeah, and not on a windy night. Good. Oh man. Mm-mm.
Are you remembering?
No.
I love every time she starts looking around. I'm thinking there's a story in there somewhere.
I don't think I've ever actually had sex on the beach. To be honest with you.
I think
I've fooled around on the beach, but I don't think I was like, this is a bad idea. I'm a smarter person than this, and I'm not going to go through with it.
No, I've definitely done it on the beach, and it was a mistake.
Exactly why
there was
I did
a lot
not go
of
through.
Cleaning that had to happen afterwards.
I think that's why.
Oh my god! But I would think like the rawness and the rubbing of all the sand. Oh, because it's basically shells broken up into tiny pieces.
After a while, we had to stop. I mean, it was like oh, throw at the moment, and then like, this is a bad idea.
Could you imagine giving like head or eating pussy then, and it's just like sand in the pussy? It's just like, it's crunchy now. It's crunchy.
I mean, if it's gonna be crunchy, can we put some Captain Crunch in there?
Oh.
No, that's also equally. That's actually
like Rice Krispie treats now.
We're cutting him off of talking now. Bad ideas. Bad.
Oh no, our first guest. We're cutting him off.
You asked me here.
So there's also like, how do y'all feel in like flavored lubes or
No. It never works. It's either fucking sticky or disgusting, and it's never good.
What about edible underwear?
I was just gonna say it's just like edible underwear.
Well, edible underwear. Okay.
Snack on them when you're like getting ready.
Right.
Guys,
don't put them on.
Ladies, don't wear edible underwear because the sugar can cause you to have a yeast. Maybe that's what she did. She just constantly wore edible underwear, and that's why she was so yeasty.
Just imagine if the girl...
lady at work, she's just like, oh, I've got an afternoon snack, and that's why she smells so much.
I'd imagine the girl at work, hers would just disintegrate.
Oh, gross. She's just making coffee, and she just digs in her pants. She's like, yummy.
So lunch was going to be for 3 hours. I couldn't wait that long.
Don't wear edible underwear. No, but like I was telling you, I was saying in like the anal episode, there is like a cream, excuse me, a cream-based lube, and it's mostly for like anal or for guys as well because guys don't have that natural lubricant. So a cream-based lube is good for guys, like if you're doing anal or if the guys who do like to be pegged or the finger or whatever, but when I've used like the cream, even just like with regular sex, it's not really that bad when you're giving a blowjob and it tastes like whipped cream. But it's cream, so it's not really sticky. It's not like those flavored sticky kind.
It's not like the strawberry flavor that's just like it's like simple syrup that you just threw on your dick.
Oh yeah. I do, however, like those like warming lubes. Those are nice.
I haven't had great experience with that either, and not even on my end really. It's usually the person that
I'm
having
having
sex
like,
with.
I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
Yes, exactly.
I've heard that. I've heard that as well.
It's not gone well in that area.
Have you guys ever tried the icy hot condoms where it's like cold and then it gets warm?
That sounds like a horrible idea.
They're actually out of my balls. That's not fun.
They're actually.
I don't think that. Yeah,
it's actually pretty.
There's
I
nothing
loved
about
it.
that sounds.
Who put icy hot on your balls?
Oh no.
I played soccer, and so my thighs and shit would be very fucking sore from like a soccer term or whatever, and it's occasionally I put it too far up my leg or whatever, and it's like it just. Sweating or whatever.
But it's also a great practical joke. I've known guys that have, and honestly, to me, that is such a mean thing to do to somebody.
What's worse, and this is a good story too, because it's actually it happened to me. I was
It's a good story because it's true.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I was a cook for a long time, and when I was cooking one day, I was cutting jalapenos, not thinking anything of it. You know where this is going, so it gets better. It gets better. So I'm cutting jalapenos, right? Don't even think anything of it. Didn't have gloves on because I was a moron, and went to the bathroom, came back, I'm like, God, my crotch is really getting warm. This is weird. Like, it's just there. Like, I'm warm. Like, it's a kitchen. Like, everything's hot. But I was like, man, this is getting bad,
It's
right?
like a
and
tingly,
so then I realized,
burning sensation.
And then I realized what's happening, and I'm like, oh, fuck this. This is terrible. I'm dumping ice down my pants. Like, I'm on the line, just like, sorry, guys. Just, like, dumping ice down there. And I had to call my dad, who thinks he's in the same town. I was
Dad, my balls are on fire. My balls are on fire. Side note, I also sing Chocolate Salty Balls, and that's one of the lines in there.
She does a great job.
Woody was a live, true story of it.
I'll edit that out.
And so anyways, to finish it off, so I call my dad, who my dad used to be a police officer, and he's like, actually, I just saw a conference where they're like, people that, because cops have to get pepper sprayed to be a cop.
Yeah.
You have to know what you're going to
Yeah. You got to be experienced.
So he's like, actually, there's a makeup remover. I'm like, cool. Can you bring me some? So he does, and then so I get I go to the back end. You know, my dad's bringing me makeup remover, and I'm just like dumping it down my
Thank
like,
God
thank you
for your dad.
Yeah.
So I have two stories. Way back in the day, like it was right before I met you, like maybe a year or two before I met you. I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings, and they have like the Blazing Sauce and the Blazing Challenge, and so we actually got a company email, like the GM got an email saying, well, I tried your blazing sauce, and nobody mentioned that I should wash my hands before I go to the bathroom. And I continued to go to the bathroom, and I grabbed my dick, and all of a sudden, it was on fire. And it was this whole huge, funny email about how, like, his dick was on fire from blazing sauce at Buffalo Wild Wings. And like I said...
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Don't
It's
don't
not,
do
yeah,
that.
and I work at a hot chicken place now, and this one guy came in, and I always tell people, like, when they're eating, like, I mean, medium and mild is fine, but, like, I mean, it's still
Not on your genitals.
No, but it's, I mean, yeah, it's still pretty hot, but I always try to tell people if they have, like, if they're eating anything on the menu with their hands, and I'm like, wash your hands before you go to the bathroom. Well, I had told a guy, but I didn't realize he'd already gone to the bathroom. He was like, too late.
Bro.
I wish you would have given me this advice before, because they tried the poltergeist
I've
sauce.
had that.
And
It's no joke.
yeah,
It's no joke.
and he was like, can I literally buy a bushwhacker and go stick my dick in it? He was like, I was like,
Seriously.
I was like, you sure can, but just do it in the bathroom. And
Let's just do a little PSA. When touching anything spicy or any kind of sports cream that may have a heating or cooling sensation, or anything that you would rub on somewhere that isn't appropriate for your face or for your genitals.
So
There's a reason
Okay.
there's a disclaimer on there. It
Oh,
says, like,
well,
keep out of, like, your
so-
orifices.
So my
Absolutely.
experience with the icy hot condoms was completely different, and then maybe they make it differently because they know it's going in those areas.
Is it
because
by?
because I think it's like cut down by like half, because it's like it's just a little cool, and then all of a sudden it warms up, and it's kind of like intriguing and
Is it-
intense, and it's awesome. I loved it. I like we bought that for months,
Is
and
it
then
the Icy Hot, the same company?
I
that
think
does
I
Icy
think
Hot?
so. I think so. But
didn't
it
know
like
Icy
but
Hot
yeah,
made
you
condoms.
can go buy
Yeah, I didn't
condoms
either.
that are icy. It says icy hot, and it cools. It's cool in
'Cause
the
doesn't-
beginning, and then it gets warm, and it's kind of nice.
Doesn't
But
Shaquille O'Neal do the Icy Hot commercials? I would
Yeah, but-
love to see Shaquille O'Neal do Icy Hot condom commercials.
Yes.
Can we please get that to happen?
He's like, sorry, guys, you can't
Shaq,
use mine
please.
though, because they're way too big for all
Shaq,
the
you're
rest of
retired. Why not? You're already halfway into the icy hot. Why not go deep in,
it. Balls deep, if you will.
balls deep into
Into
the icy hot condoms? Take one for the team. I know you're married, but just try a condom every now and then. Well, I guess we kind of talked about like cleanliness and odors. Like, also, always pee after sex, ladies, because it can cause yeast infections. Like
UTIs too.
UTIs, yeast infections. I mean, like,
UTI.
always pee.
Red light. Give me UTI.
Urinary
tract
tract.
infection.
There we
Yeah,
go.
where you have to pee every 5 seconds, and it's like 3 drops. They're not fun.
And
Feels
does it
like
still burn
peeing
as well?
glass.
Also, never go ass to
I'm
puss
glad I don't know what it
or
is.
ass to mouth, because ass to puss is very dirty and it can 100% cause UTIs. Like, yes. So people, like, if you watch porn, I'm like, oh, they went ass to pussy. She's gonna have a UTI. And it just completely turns me off because I'm like, health, safety, and cleanliness. I'm like...
Even if you clean afterwards thoroughly?
It's not good to go because there can be particles that when you go at, like, I'll do it if I've done anal and then they switch the condom out, I'll go back into my vagina. But, like, I will not go. I'm like, all right, you're in there. I was like, unless you switch the condom out, you're just going to finish off.
So, guys, if you only have one condom,
yeah,
pick and choose.
Yeah, pick the pussy first, then go on to the ass if she's into it.
So you can go, so there's an order. It's like liquor before beer.
Yes.
So it's pussy before ass?
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
That's just full of bacteria. That's where it all comes out of.
Yeah.
So
That's why they tell employees to
you
wash
never
their
go
hands
ass to
when they come out of
mouth.
the bathroom.
What movie is that from where it's like, you never go ass to mouth?
Clerks.
Is it Clerks?
It's Clerks 2.
Yeah, okay.
We've come full circle.
Kevin Smith, we love you. And so, so, also, like, so say, like, hot chick or hot dude or hot person, you're really into them, and they're, like, so smoking hot and sexy and gorgeous and da-da, and then you get naked and you take the pants off and you get ready to go down on that person, and there's a big old bush. And we're just going to touch on this subject because we're doing, like, a body hair manscaping episode, but, like, what are your thoughts? You're
Not
just
phased.
like, huh?
I'm not even phased by it.
Yeah, I was
Really?
going to say, you're looking at two different generations of
Yeah.
people here as well. But, I mean, like, honestly, that it really... I mean, I guess if it's...
I hate that I have to, like, when I go down and it just, like, tickles my whole face, I'm just like, I'm not into it.
If it's
Out of control, then
okay,
no.
yeah, if it's out of control where they haven't done anything, that's kind of like, fuck that, but not really.
It's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if there is a bush there, but it's at least like manicured around, like it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not like.
But what if it's manicured around and it's just like a gargantuan bush,
I haven't ran into
like
that.
Amazonian woman?
I haven't had that encounter, so I don't. I'm not, it's been a long time.
How
since
old are
the
you,
70s.
Woody?
I'm
Out of
33.
curiosity.
I'm 33.
Okay.
So yeah, again, the 70s were a long time before
Yeah.
I was here.
Well,
Not for me.
You're gonna be great for this because you're gonna have a bit different perspective.
so lately I've noticed, like, and just in talking to people, like, the bush is back. Like, guys want the
I've
hair.
heard that,
Like,
though.
the
I've
guys
heard
want
that,
the hair.
though.
Like, they don't want the bald anymore. They're just like, I'm with, like, a real woman, and, like, they just love it. They're just like, I could tug on it a little bit or just whatever. They just, I've had many conversations where, like, more guys are into the bush rather than the clean shave now. So I don't know if that's, like, a trend now with it, but I thought that was intriguing. The bush is back.
I feel like it went from bush, like, let's say 70s, but let's just clear this up. I was a child in the 70s.
Okay.
I remember the 70s,
Yeah.
but wasn't necessarily prepared at that point to see any bush. So let's go 80s.
Dad's Playboys never
But
got hold of
80s, no, but even in the 80s, like, if you look at old magazines and stuff, the 80s in Playboy, bush.
those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then you could probably use Playboy as an example of how it just got more trimmed.
Yeah.
And now the trend is, I guess, it's a throwback to bush that people are
Yeah.
fine with it again.
But we'll move on to that, though, because we don't want to give too much information out because we have all kinds of fun things for you for the Where the Red Fur Grows episode. And so we'll touch more on that bush.
Is that about gingers?
No, it's just a fun play on words.
It's manscaping
Just
and
love it.
womanscaping.
It's just about manscaping, body hair in general. Like a lot of people who have underarm hair now, it's coming back. Like, it's not just in France now. So it's things like that, like conversations about that, and like what people's opinions are on it now that it's like more popular to do things that we're not.
And Woody
used
hasn't
to.
seen the intro. In the first
Yeah.
episode, it out. We go into, I believe, Merkins a little bit.
Yeah, which is
Nope,
basically
that's
a
the
pussy
same look
wig.
I had.
Well, yeah, I haven't seen it.
I've actually
No, but I
I've
was
told
just
everybody
like, I didn't
about
know what
it.
it was until we had a discussion about it. And then I was thinking from the look on your face, you probably don't know what a merkin
I could
is
honestly talk
Or
about
do you know what a
merkins for
merkin is?
hours, to be
what-
honest with
what
A
you.
merkin.
American.
M-E-R-K-I-N.
It's basically a pussy wig. And so what I want to talk about, since there's like so many of us, like what is your personal preference of like what you like during oral sex? Like, because we have two guys, and I think that I think side boob can throw in a little bit here too, because we all like something completely different, and so it might be educational to people who might try a way and it's not good for them, and then y'all might have a way that they haven't tried before that they just don't know what's good and what's bad. So
I'm gonna go with willingness. It's probably my favorite thing.
consent. Consent.
Yeah, that should have been the first part. Like,
Number one rule: always have consent.
I'm personally more of I actually prefer to give oral than get, and kind of going back to like things we talked about. Like, I haven't gotten as many people that necessarily seem like that's their thing that they enjoy about sex themselves, where I haven't had that many partners that are actually like super into it. And I am into giving oral, so I don't mind. And I actually, because like, I mean, there's still that stigma of like, women tend to need a little bit more action leading up to everything to like have an orgasm.
Well, that's because we can multiple orgasm.
Yeah.
So even if we come, we can keep going.
Yeah, so I guess that's the thing for me too, is just like, well, I'd like sex to last. I don't necessarily need all of that. I'd rather give and just have everything last longer. But again, to me, like I said, if they're not going to be that eager to do it, then...
Well, I'm saying for a woman that is eager to do it, like what do you like? What style do you like? What is, what is like, describe like the best blowjob you've ever had?
Definitely someone that just understood automatically that like go for the tip. Just like make the focal point about the tip. That's for me, that's what it is. Because like, yeah, deep throating is great and everything for the couple seconds or whatever. I mean, it depends on obviously varying styles and stuff. But
yeah.
To me personally, it's like, yeah, if you want to focus on the tip and like work your tongue around that, okay, you obviously like have some idea of what a guy kind of like is like, where like just like the clit. It tips is the same type of thing. It's like that's where you're gonna have a lot of the feelings. So like someone that can focus on that area, that to me is like, okay, that's good oral.
Nice.
I think too. I'm kind of gonna go with what he said in the beginning, really, because the enthusiasm. Like, again, because there's been so many women that I've met that it's a chore.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've
So then the specifics of what I like and don't like, really it's the enthusiasm, like, because there's so many girls who don't like giving blowjobs. So if there's a girl that's really enthusiastic about it and she's willing to she knows and does things that the girls who are really scared don't do.
So touch on those things. Like, what are those things? What are those things that
Tug
like
on the balls?
Yeah, tugging on the balls.
Well, see, I've been with dudes who like I'll go fast and they like love it, and I'll do like I'll move my hand up and down as I'm going up and down, and then like some guys are like, don't use your hand, and some guys are like, go slower. Yeah, but I've had guys say, don't use your hand and go slower, and I'm like,
I feel like it kind of depends too, because
I was very enthusiastic and they wanted me to be less enthusiastic, and I was like, well, I'm not breaking your dick off or anything.
You don't have that tiny hands either, but
I have man hands.
Yeah,
and man feet.
That's another episode.
So maybe those guys were like, whoa, you're making it look a little small. Can you not use the hands in there?
Oh, come on. My hands aren't that big. I mean, whatever.
That's why I like the little people. It looks so big.
Yeah. Well, my ex like loves like short girls, so because he just like, but I also love like tall guys, but I did go on a date with a guy that was shorter than me, and I was like, I don't discriminate against anybody, whatever, I don't have an issue with that. And then I went, like, I was wearing like 7-inch heels, and I went to go kiss him, and I had to like lean down and kiss him. I was like, yeah, this isn't hot. I don't feel comfortable. But there are like tall girls that love short men. But it was just awkward for me. I don't like ducking down to like kiss a man.
Because I even got a friend of mine who's probably about my age, and his wife told him the day before they got married, never again. I was like, really? Like,
Never again what?
Never again would he get a blowjob. Like, and he married this woman, and I was.
She told him that?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know, that almost to me feels like a deal breaker.
On my wedding day, my husband had to wait 7 years to give me a facial. Like, I was like, you have to marry me before.
Is that what the 7-year itch is all about?
But I'm just not into him, and I was like, nope, and I was like, all right. On our wedding night, and I kept saying maybe, like it wasn't even a definite thing until the wedding night, because I was just like, I hate it so much, it's so degrading, and I'm just like, ugh. And I hear
it's great for your skin though.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break and go refill our drinks and get those blowjob shots ready and see how well these amateurs do with blowjobs.
I can't wait.
But also, you can follow us on Facebook, Let's Talk Boobs, Twitter, Instagram. Definitely post your comments and tell us, if we're wrong about something, right about something. If you have more curiosities about something, we can also continue to talk about it and hopefully answer your questions and touch on that subject.
Questions for the thruster?
The thruster.
I feel bad. I feel like we left him out.
We did kind of leave him out, but we did talk about his or her balls being the biggest of them all.
It's true.
So, thank you guys for listening, and please watch our video 8,000 times each. And I hope you enjoyed our special cocktail beverage. We will be back with more. All right, and we're back. As promised, we're going to do a blowjob shot. And when you order a blowjob shot or you do a blowjob shot, the whole point is to do it with no hands.
Sorry.
So, hands behind your back, gentlemen, but I guess we could do the cheers again if you'd like.
Yeah, why not?
Here's to me, here's to Lube, here's to you on Let's Talk Boobs. All right, hands behind your back, gentlemen, mouth around glass, and swallow. God, I wish that was cold.
Yeah, that would have helped.
Recommendation, make sure the liqueurs are cold. It's good, though.
I want everybody to know that was my first blowjob. And I
How'd it feel?
Sloppy.
A little creamy.
Practice makes perfect.
I feel like that's so appropriate that it was all sloppy. I think it's weird that they have ATM machines everywhere. See, she does. See, Woody, thank you.
Okay, all right.
Boobs is always like. Mm-mm.
I'm actually naturally a blonde, so I always don't get things as quickly.
Oh, I just thought you didn't think it was funny.
Well, that too.
Usually,
most things that you say I don't find funny, and you laugh with your head back and cackle hysterically, and I just give you this so blank look.
It almost is more funny to me when you don't think it is funny at all.
Which is always.